Hello Year 2, how are you? And welcome to today's English lesson. Now today we're going to be carrying on our work on the Tinga Tinga Tales, but today we're going to be specifically looking at different sentence types. Now can any of you remember the 4 different sentence types that we've learnt about in class? Could you pause the video now and have a little think for me? Okay, Year 2, so were you able to remember the 4 different sentence types? Well, let's find out. We have got statements, we have got questions, we have got commands, and what's the last one? Oh yes, that's right, we've got exclamations. So we've got statements, questions, commands and exclamations. So we've learned about these before in class. Now to start today's lesson, we have 5 sentences here. Tigers have stripes, give me your pencil, how hard you are working, I feel sick, and what time is it? Okay, now what you need to do is first of all, decide whether each sentence is a statement, a question, a command or an exclamation. And then you need to decide which type of punctuation you need at the end of each of these sentences. So do you need a question mark, an exclamation mark, a full stop, or could it be more than one option? Okay, so pause the video now and have a go at this activity for me. Okay, Year 2, so let's see how you got on. Well, the first one, tigers have stripes. Well, tigers have stripes. That's a fact, isn't it? So therefore, that is a statement. Now, what do statements need at the end of them? Ah, yes, they need a full stop. So therefore, tigers have stripes is a statement which needs a full stop at the end. Okay, next one, give me your pencil. Well, remember when we were doing instructions and we used the imperative verb, the bossy verb? Well, I can see a bossy verb there, can't you? Give. So therefore, that's a command because we've used the imperative. So therefore, we can either have a full stop at the end or we can have an exclamation mark at the end. So you can use either one for that one. Okay, next one, how hard you are working. Now, have you realised that that sentence starts with how? Well, when we have exclamation sentences, they can start with how or what. Remember when we wrote them in our letter for Florence Nightingale? They started with either how or what. So therefore, how hard you are working is an exclamation sentence. So therefore, it needs an exclamation mark at the end. Okay, the next one, I feel sick. Well, that's a statement, isn't it? That's a fact. So therefore, it needs a full stop. And the last one, what time is it? Well, can you see that that sentence starts with what, which is one of our question words, one of our 5 W's. So therefore, if it's a question, it needs a question mark at the end. So well done if you got those correct, and that will really help you in today's lesson. So to start with now, we are just going to recap the different types of sentences that we have learnt about. Okay, so the first type of sentence is a statement. Now, statements are sentences which tell you a fact, an opinion, or an idea, okay? And as we found out before, they end in a full stop. So here are some examples. A rainbow has 7 colours. Now, that's a fact, isn't it? Because we all know that rainbows have 7 colours, and we can see that in the picture. So therefore, that is a statement, and it needs a full stop at the end. Now the next one, they are beautiful to look at. So rainbows are beautiful to look at. Well, that is an opinion, isn't it? Someone has said that they are beautiful to look at. Not everybody might think that rainbows are beautiful to look at. So therefore, that's an opinion, but it is still a statement, okay? So it needs a full stop at the end. And we always need to remember our capital letter at the beginning, don't we? Okay, now can we think of any other statements? Well, what I'd like you to do is pause the video now and have a think. Can you think of any other statements? Okay, Year 2, so were you able to come up with some other statements? Well, I had a think too, and I thought of another one. I thought tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, that's a fact, isn't it? Tomorrow is Wednesday, so therefore it's a statement. Now, what else did I think of? Oh, I know. I like pizza. Okay, I like pizza. Well, that's a fact, but it's also an opinion, isn't it? It's my opinion on pizza. So therefore, that is another statement and it needs a full stop. I'm sure you thought of some brilliant statements too. Okay, well, let's have a look at the next sentence type. So we've had statements. The next one is questions. Now, questions are sentences that ask you something, okay? So a question needs to have an answer. So if you can't answer it, it's not a question. And they need to end in a question mark, okay? So some examples here. What did you have for dinner? And what is your favourite colour? Well, we can answer that, can't we? What did you have for dinner? Well, you can tell me what you had for dinner. So therefore, it's a question. And what is your favourite colour? Well, I can answer that. My favourite colour, as you all know, is orange. So therefore, yes, what is your favourite colour is a question, and it needs to end in a question mark. Now, we can also see these two questions start in what, which, as you know, is one of our question words, one of our 5 W's. So therefore, that's another way to find out if something is a question, if it has a question word at the beginning. So now again, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and have a think. Can you think of any other questions? Okay, so did you think of some more questions? Fantastic, so did I. I thought of what is your favourite book? And why are you doing that? Okay, so we've got what again at the beginning, and we've also got why. Why are you doing that? That is another of our 5 W's, isn't it? So therefore, it's a question, and it needs a question mark at the end. And somebody can probably answer that, can't they? Why are you doing that? They can probably tell you why they are doing that. Okay, the next one. Commands. Now, we looked at these when we did our instruction writing for our fruit smoothie, didn't we? Okay, so commands, they contain an imperative verb or a bossy verb. Remember, a bossy verb is called a bossy verb because it's telling you to do something. So, for example, help me, okay? There, you are being told to help, okay? Then the next one, stop it. You are being told to stop. So help and stop are both imperative verbs. They are bossy verbs, okay? So again, I would like you to have a think. What other commands can you think of? Pause the video now and have a little think for me. Okay, year 2, well, did you think of any commands? I'm sure you did, and I'm sure you can think of some that we use in our fruit smoothie recipe as well. Remember, we wrote chop the strawberry in half, and we wrote pour the mixture and add the ice. So we've got chop, pour, and add. Okay, those are our imperative verbs, our bossy verbs. So therefore we know that that is a command. It's telling you to do something. Okay, and what's our last one? Well, we've had statement, we've had question, we've had command. Ah, yes, the last one was exclamation, wasn't it? So an exclamation is used when someone is surprised, okay? It starts with how, as we said, or what, and contains a noun and a verb. Okay, so here we have what big feet you have. Okay, so here we started with what, and we've got our noun, feet, and our verb, have. Okay, so what big feet you have, and that's showing surprise. Okay, with an exclamation mark at the end. Then how beautiful those flowers are. So that exclamation is starting with how, and again, we've got a full stop, not a full stop, we've got an exclamation mark at the end. So again, final time, I would like you to pause the video and have a think. Can you think of any more exclamation sentences? Okay, year 2, so what were your exclamation sentences that you thought of? Well, I thought of what a beautiful day it is, and how lovely you are, or how kind you are. Okay, so we've started with what, and we started with how. I'm sure you thought of some brilliant exclamation sentences too. So just to check that you've understood what we've learnt so far in today's lesson, here is a little activity for you. So you've got how lucky we are to see a hedgehog. Where would you like to go for your birthday? Tell me how you did that magic trick. The giraffe is the tallest animal in the world. So you need to decide what type of sentences each of these are, and then what punctuation you need for that sentence. So let's do the first one together. How lucky we are to see a hedgehog. Well, have you noticed that it starts with how? What type of sentence started with how? Well, it wasn't a command because that had a bossy verb. It wasn't a statement. It wasn't a question because we needed a question word at the beginning, which how is a question word? But we can't answer that. How lucky we are to see a hedgehog. We can't answer that, can we? So therefore, it is an exclamation. And what do we need at the end of an exclamation sentence? We need an exclamation mark. So there we go. We've done that one together. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and have a think. The last three, what type of sentences are there? And what punctuation do we need for each? Okay, so pause the video now and have a go. Okay, year two, so let's check. So we've got, where would you like to go for your birthday? Well, we've started with the word where there. And that's one of our 5 W's again, isn't it? It's one of our question words. So therefore, we can answer that. Where would you like to go for your birthday? Well, you could say, I would like to go to a restaurant for my birthday. So yes, we can answer that, and it is a question. And what do we need at the end of a question? Well, we need a question mark. Okay, the next one, tell me how you did that magic trick. Tell me. Okay, you're telling someone to do something, aren't you? And that's a bossy verb. Tell me. You're asking them to do it. We're not asking them, you're telling them to do it. Okay, so therefore it's a command, and it needs either a full stop or an exclamation mark at the end. Now the last one, the giraffe is the tallest animal in the world. Well, that's a fact, isn't it? And it doesn't start with a question word. It doesn't have a bossy verb in it, and it doesn't start with how or what. So therefore, it is a statement. And what do you need at the end of the statement? Well, you need a full stop. So well done if you got that correct.